Okay, so I think I'm going to be doing 3 today. Oh, this one has a crown on it too. I just noticed that. Okay, so I'm going to start off just making a little circle right here. I don't know that I will be able to fit everything on this one because there's a lot going on. The eyes are really, really big. Really, really big eyes. It's just as cute as a button. Um, Making a little nose right here. Okay, let me get over here and be prepared. Be prepared. Okay, there. I muted. Okay, I muted myself so that I've got my screen prepared if anyone has any questions or anything. Okay, so we are working on our little character here. So I'm just going to draw kind of a zipper looking line here like this. And okay, I'm going to add a little crown right here. Yeah, we got a little crown going on here. Okay, we're going to add some little balls up here on each of the little crown spikes. Kind of like that. We got pointy teeth right here. Lots of pointy teeth. Sharp, jagged, pointy teeth here. Okay, so now we've got, let's work on the eyes. We've got kind of these maroon parts right here, and then we've got like a little circle here. Now we've got another little circle right here. And it almost looks like smiley faces in the eyes right there. Do you see that? Okay, so now we're going to shade a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of shading. I'm going to make this part a little bit darker right here. And so I'm just going to do some little shading like this around here. We're shading. Now, I'm probably going to be doing 3 because I ended up with 3 images that I really like. So I might be doing 3 live streams today. Because I've got this character and 2 others that I really liked. All of them turned out really, really cute. And so now I've got to work on this eye. I don't know, should we shade it down a little bit darker? See if we can get it down a little bit darker. I almost feel like I've enclosed this part too much. Now here I can kind of shade in with circles like this. That works. And shade in like this. Anyone have any questions or anything? I'm just using little circles here to shade it in like this. That works. Works out pretty good. let's see how that looks. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. Okay, we've got a question. Hello, Janaya Love. It's a creepy character. That's what it is. It's a creepy character. That's what I'm working on. And so, when there's things featured on the platform, I kind of like to do things following what's being featured on the platform. And, so it gives me something, it gives me ideas of things to make. Thank you. Yeah. It gives me ideas of things to make. So I follow what's being put on the platform itself. Okay, so now we've got a little zipper looking thing right here. And so I've got kind of a little curve type of thing right here. You guys can leave your messages if you make mistakes. I'm fine with people making mistakes. I'm not someone who thinks it's important to critique a person's spelling, because, the thing is, it's like all of us make mistakes with spelling. So please leave your mistakes. You don't have to retract your messages. If you say something that doesn't look right, just leave it. Nobody really knows what you're talking about. Just leave it. And if someone starts being kind of mean, I'll handle them and I'll make them leave if they're going to be mean. So just I know that's a problem that I've seen for people, because nobody likes to be picked on, and so I'll make sure that people aren't picked on as far as that goes in the chat. If someone is just being completely mean, we'll make them leave. And what I found is that they come back. They come back, and unfortunately, what happens is that the people who I liked in the chat, they scared them away, and then the bully person comes back. Okay, what have we got here? Well, that looks pretty good. Now the teeth, yeah, they're... Now, I might have colored them too much. I'm going to fix this right now. I've got this fine-tipped marker here, and I'm going to enhance the teeth right here a little bit like this, because I don't see them good enough, and so I colored over them too much. But we're going to make it work there. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, now what I need to do is put a ruffle. I'm going to do a ruffle, and some of the ruffle has... Well, we'll get it done. Let me just draw some random lines here. That's what I'm going to do, is just draw some random lines like that. Now this ruffle down here sort of kind of has like a circle at the end. And then we go up like that. And then we're going to go down and up and down and up and down and up. And so I can actually add another one in there like that. And okay, so we've got, oh, and yeah, down here, these are kind of circly enclosed like that. So we've got a ruffle going on here. That's what we've got. Okay, so now what I've got right here is, I am going to take, and we're going to make a little kind of a little potato shape down here on the body. We got a little potato shape going on. And so I'm going to make some little, this part is kind of fun here. We've got, okay, we're going down like this and down like that. Kind of like that. And then we're going down like this. Okay, so now we've got the little lines like this drawn through here. Okay, let's put it in this direction. And then we've got more little, well, we can put a line through here like that. Draw lines there like that. And so now, oh my gosh, it's so cute. We forgot ears. We need to add ears on. Okay, we need you to be able to hear. We're going to add some little ears on, like that. Okay, we got our little ears on, one ear. Now we're going to add our other ear on. We need you to be able to hear. Okay. So we've got an ear on. And so we've got a little bit of something going on right here, cross hatching maybe, you know, however you want it to be. And now we have got this arm right here, goes up. We've got the arm going down, and then it's up. Okay, and we've got this little part right here. And so right here, we've got kind of like a zipper effect going on right here like that. Sort of a, that's kind of what it looks like right there. And so we've got this little part right there like that. And there we've got that little part there. Now the hand does have a rose coming out of it, so I'm going to have to move it in that direction because otherwise I don't have enough room. Now this side is really interesting because this arm is, it sort of looks like a branch. Okay, so we're going to put it up in this direction. Well, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. If you have any friends you'd like to subscribe, thank you so much, Janiyah Love. Thank you for subscribing. If you have anyone else you'd like to share the video with and subscribe, please let them know. And you know, I like to do drawings right now because there's something that goes by a little bit quicker. You know, eventually, maybe one day we'll do crochet again a little bit more, but right now I'm just not feeling it. It's not something I'm really feeling that much. And so this is kind of more satisfying because we get this done a little bit quicker. And so now I'm working at, this is the hand, and then we're literally learning new things. You know, there's so many different ways and things, more things that I can do with this than I can, you know, with just doing crochet all the time. And so that's why I kind of like doing this right now instead of what I was doing. Okay, now we've got, it looks like a branch, and so we're going to add some thorns right here. This sort of looks like a little thorny branch. And okay, so there's like a little point out here. We're going to add just some little, you know, we're going to try to make it look like a branch a little bit more than what we got going on right now. Add some little points like this, points, and make it look sharp, like it's kind of like it's a rose bush. Now let me see how I can do this rose. I've got to make a rose here, a flower. I need to make it, yeah, that's working out okay, isn't it? For a little rose right there. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Might be a little bit wonky. What are you? What do you mean, what am I? Oh, what am I drawing? It's a creepy, cute character is what I'm drawing. It's a creepy, cute character. I am going in line with, we have a recommend, it's a creepy, cute character. I decided to add the cute in there. I like creepy characters. I mean, this one, I think the creepy characters are cute though too, and so I'm doing a creepy cute character, and so I will kind of, up on the, okay, I'm going to tell you where I got this idea from today. In the upper left hand corner on YouTube, they're featuring creepy characters today, and so my gosh, maybe I should have drawn that one. I could have, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So, well, thank you, M Dream. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. So, if you guys want ideas, you can actually draw these. I don't care if you draw them because I got help from artificial intelligence. I asked them to create something and then I just draw from it. But my stuff is slightly different. It never looks the same as what I'm drawing from the image ever. It never ever looks the same. So, we're not going to have any problems with that because it's like I'm the one drawing it. And so now I'm drawing a little tiny leaf here. I'm just adding in a little tiny leaf, another tiny little leaf here. And, I don't, something else too is I'm not fond of the arguing that people do. I just don't think it serves any purpose, I mean, and so I try to keep things, I always try to keep things peaceful on my YouTube channel. And, and so I have a lot of things that I want to say and I want to talk about, but I don't want it to be, I want it to be more for an educational purpose, not for influencing negative things and negative feelings. That's just not what I want. I want people to feel free to talk about things that are important to them and that have happened to them in their lives too. Because I have a feeling and belief that everyone's opinions have purpose and matter, and things that have happened to people in their life, that is what shapes and molds and forms people, is things that have happened to them. Even the tragic things that are not good is what forms and molds all of us into the people that we are. And we never forget bad things that have happened to us, and it helps when we talk about it. It helps to actually get it out of our system when we talk about it. And sometimes we can do that through artwork too, by thinking about the things and trying to get it out of our systems, when we've had bad things happen. And I know I've not had any more than anyone else has had, but it's just, we all have these negative experiences that form our future and our future past, and it completely changes our thinking about life when we have things that happen. And the best way to actually get it out of our system is to talk about it, and to make drawings that are really, for me, these drawings like this actually express the turmoil inside of my brain. That's why I like creepy drawings. It expresses the turmoil inside of my brain, inside of my body. And, so I can get this out of my system somehow. If I don't have an outlet, I have nothing, and then it just kind of builds up. Now, over time, it does subside. That's what I found with myself. It does subside. So when you have something that is really, really bad that happens to you, all the negative feelings that have, not feelings, all the negativity that's happened to you in your life comes up. And even things that really you think about later. I know I do. I thought about later and I thought, my gosh, this stuff should not matter to me right now. But it did. By the way, why do you use an AI on your shorts? What do you mean an AI on my shorts? Oh, I like using AI. I love AI with a passion. That's something that YouTube offers to me to use. The drawing is a 10 out of 10. Oh, you like my drawing that much, M Dream family? You like it that much? Um, I think it's so cute. I love it, especially we got a couple of roses going on here. Um, I move the camera. I'll move, like shake it. Is that good? Is that good when you ask me to move the camera? Should we make it shake a little bit? I know you want to make sure that I'm a real person. Okay, yes, I'm moving the camera. That's funny. Or should I move the drawing? We'll move the camera. We shake the camera. Are we just teaching AI how to shake the camera now? We're teaching AI how to shake the camera. That's what I have a feeling. Um, we're teaching AI. We're teaching AI how to shake the camera. Um, okay, AI, this is how you shake the camera. Like this. Is that funny? That is funny when I look at it. Oh no. Oh no, this isn't good. My camera went into, uh-oh, the orientation is locked. I don't want it to be on horizontal mode right now. I want it to be on, let's see if I can get it back. Okay. Well, I thought it was on vertical. Now it's on horizontal, but it still looks the same on screen though. Oh my gosh, that's cute. I'm looking at my screen. That's really cute. Um, it is. It's just, I love it. On my shorts, do you want me to tell you the secret why I use the shorts? People love them. Everybody loves them. I know I do. I've always loved the shorts. I've always loved the things on the internet that people call brain rot. And that's the things that I've looked at my whole internet life. Now, when I got on the internet the first time was in 1997. That was the first time. And I always loved looking at the brain rot content, you know. Now, there's just some things that go quite a lot overboard that I really just don't want to see. But there's a lot of things that venture down gaming and brain rot that I mean, it's cute. I mean, I don't have anything negative to say about it other than it's cute. And, you know, so I don't know, it's like sometimes I feel like people in the gaming community, they're kind of mean, but it's like, why? It's like, I could be your biggest supporter. I've played games when I was younger. I still play games. I play games on Google every day. Every day. More so than people go to church, you know, so there's a lot of, you know, for me, playing the games is almost like it's a distraction from things I have no control over in my life. And so when I don't have anything else, when I don't have anything else, I don't have anybody in my life, I need something. And I don't like religion. And so for me, it's like playing these games is actually, I find it healthy and cathartic. I don't know about cathartic, if that's a good word or not, but you know, the games that I've been playing are actually no different than me sitting here drawing or teaching crochet, doing things that people have told me as an old person to get off the internet, get out of my mom's attic, you know, all the same thing that everybody else gets. Get off the internet, find a real job. Well, it's like, well, okay, you guys are just telling that to everybody. Why are you doing that? You know, why are they being mean? So, brain rot. Yes, absolutely brain rot. Brain rot is what people love. I'm telling you, brain rot is what people love. And you know what? This is going to be called brain rot. But at the same time, it's like, how can it be bad for us if it's something we're drawing? How can it be bad for us? And so I like the shorts because people watch them. And that's why I like the little 15-second shorts. But at the same time, I like actually teaching something too, or doing something that I feel is a little tiny bit of value that could be, I don't know that it's entertaining or not, but I just want it to be a safe place for people to go, because I know how I felt myself not having a safe place. Just name it capscarynut. You know what? Maybe I will. I'm going to write that. Do you mind if I write that up there? I'm going to write it up here, and I'm going to call it capscarynut. Let's call it that. And you know what? When I take a picture later on, maybe I should write it on a napkin first, because I want to take a picture first before I write anything on it. I'm going to write down capscarynut. CAPSCARYNUT. And we'll call it capscarynut. That sounds good. We'll call it capscarynut. Okay. You've got a name here. And so later on, when I take your picture and we put you into picture to video, I'm telling you guys, I love the picture to video. So this little character here, when I take a picture of it later on, I'm going to take a picture of it, and there's two places that I can get picture to video, and that is inside of Google Photos and inside of YouTube, both places. Now, with Google Photos, I have a limit of only 3 images that I can do per day. So Google says I have to pay if I want more than that. So I try not to do it too much. But now the catalog search on YouTube is a little bit different, which is kind of nice. But still, like the guy said, there was a guy who said, he's kind of saying don't do any more than maybe 2 or 3 shorts per day. Now I'm sort of like a hyperactive right now. I'm not a hyperactive person, but when it comes to making videos and attempting to distract my brain is so, I don't know right now. I need it to be distracted. Skibbity John. Oh, Skibbity John. Skibbity John is fictitious. So Skibbity John is actually, well, you guys, have you heard the saying, when you call a toilet, you call it a John. We always called it the John. I need to go to the John. We always called it the John. I don't know where that came from. If anybody knows the history or wants to gander a guess at the history of where and when the toilet started being called a John, that would be kind of an interesting story to go along with brain rot and Skibbity John. Skibbity John is funny. I mean, like in my brain, Skibbity John is a Skibbity John and Skibbity John and Jack Smith seem to have they're like 2 fictitious men that have been in my life for a long time, but they're not real. So it's kind of like this ongoing thing that it's like Jack and John stalk me. It's almost like they're fictitious, imaginary, like I'm a ghost author of some sort on the internet. If you can't explain, just forget. I can't. I'm just, it's something that creates a life of its own. It's ongoing. So it's like I have a fictitious husbands at time, not just one, several. I have several fictitious husbands that I like to use names of, and so they all fit in, but Skibbity John is my favorite, because Skibbity John, I mean, at one time it was just John, but now it's become Skibbity John. And Skibbity John has created a life of his own. And I think other people might understand the John, Skibbity John, or Skivity. So it really, you're right. It's not really something that can be explained, but I think it's better when everybody explains it some. They put in their 2 cents, and then it becomes funny. It becomes funny and funnier, and it just creates a life of its own, is what happens, and it changes over time too, and it becomes a great big urban legend of something. But everybody loves toilet humor, don't we? It's like, I have loved toilet humor my whole life. And you know why? I think that's because of the fact that your brother says YouTube is not a job. What do I respond? Well, you have to tell your brother he's right, that YouTube is not a job, because it's not. I mean, if you need me to explain it, it's complicated, but it's not a job because of the fact that you're not hired to do anything. It's not a job. And so it's not something that you would want to do to rely on. It's sort of like self-employment. It could, now, if it's not a job though, if you can get into the partner program and make money doing it, but it's kind of like, it's just to make content. Yeah, it's a place to make content. But see, if when you think of like people in Hollywood, a lot of them end up with a lot of problems because of the fact it's very similar to YouTube, in the sense of that. Now, if you were headed out to Hollywood, and right now Hollywood has a lot of problems, and people from Hollywood now are coming onto YouTube trying to make it on YouTube. It's not going to happen. So YouTube is not a real job, so I don't know how all of this plays out. But it's just not. It's not a real job. It's not something anyone should strive to be. And I know when I was younger, I never wanted to be an entertainer. I really didn't. But I thought YouTube was fun. But there's negative consequences and things that go along with being a content creator. Miles says KK. Okay, go down the road with what you want to say about that. I don't know where you want to go with that. Do you have something that you want to express with those letters or anything? I mean, I don't know. I know that a lot of people have things that they are trying to get out, and he's got the double K ranch. Maybe, I don't know. We're making a little ghost up here. Miles. Oh, Miles. I was just thinking about Miles. Wait a minute. Wasn't Miles on Murphy Brown? Yes, Miles was on Murphy Brown. Oh, it's just an app. Okay. Yeah, Miles on Murphy Brown. And that's an old show. Murphy Brown is a very old show. And we do have some little eyebrows here. Yeah, Miles, Murphy Brown. And Murphy Brown, I remember Dan Quill getting upset because Murphy Brown was on TV and had a baby without a dad. Well, she had a dad, it's just that she decided to stay a single mom. Candace Bergen, I believe, was Murphy Brown, Candace Bergen. And so they use a lot of names in Hollywood. They use a lot of names based off popularity. That's one thing I've noticed for sure. That they follow suit, based on real life. Real life actually being an influence with names, the name game and things like that. And so, there's just a lot of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, But right now I'm not getting paid. I don't make any money at all doing this. No money whatsoever. So I don't make any money at all. Now I've had people become upset with me when I've mentioned on their channels that YouTube is a place just to make content and not to earn a living. And I get moderated off of their channels, unfortunately, for telling a truth, and so what they get mad and they're like, oh, I know this is going to work. It's supposed to work. I know it's going to work. And it's like, I'm telling you, it's not. Now, these are people from Hollywood. And so that's what they're saying. We know it's supposed to work. We know it's supposed to work. We know how it's supposed to work. We know it's going to work. And they're just carrying on all crazy. And it's like, well, if you guys are getting paid, or the bankers or someone is taking out a loan to pay you guys, it's working for you. You guys are on YouTube doing some things that the rest of us aren't doing. We don't I've never been an insider to Hollywood ever in my life. And I've had YouTube experience. I've had internet experience. And that's something completely different. YouTube and the internet and Google is not Hollywood. It's completely different. Hollywood does not offer what the internet offers. So the internet is completely different. And, but there are pitfalls and downfalls related to content creation. Well, one of the things I'll share with you that I've learned recently, I'm learning stuff every day. Miles, you've had 60 channels. You get banned. Why do you get banned every time? What do you want to see? What do you want to see, Miles? I've probably. Why do you get banned every time? For what? What do you do? I mean, it's probably just based off of your opinion, right? You don't. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, that's all I have too, is to speculate on why I get banned. But most of the time, there was a guy the other day. I wrote. I used up most of the characters in the comments, and he banned me because I wrote too much. He told me that specifically. He says, oh, I'm going to ban you. You're writing too much. He says, if you can't leave a comment in just 5 words, I don't want you on my channel. That's what he told me specifically. He says, if you can't write a comment in just 5 words, I don't want you on my channel. Now, he knew nothing about me. I really didn't say anything at all. I was just responding to him. And he was so angry. He was some guy in Las Vegas. He was so angry at me for that he just banned me. Was be right back. Okay, you'll be right back. Okay, so let's okay, so we'll continue working on we'll continue working here on our little, it's very, very busy in the background. Now I've got 2 flowers right here. I've got 2 flowers right here. And there's, well, on each, let's see if we can draw this. This could be kind of fun. I'm going to see if I can get at least one side of this. And so I'm going to draw some little chains here. Like that. So we've got a little chain thing going on here. I've got like a little key right here. There's a key on the elbow of our creepy character. Okay, did you come back? Okay, you came back, Miles. Thanks for coming back. I mean, so if you want to hear more about YouTube, I mean, we have no voice because we have no safety net. We can't apply for unemployment. So in the gig economy, there is no unemployment because we're not working for someone. It's not a real job. And so people who have had real jobs and quit their real job, that might have been a mistake. Now, myself, I never actually had a job to quit since doing YouTube. And so I never had a job to quit. So I don't know what else to say about that. I was I was doing things that I'm going to digress from talking about right now because it's a hard topic to talk about. And so, oh, that turned out pretty good. The little key there. I like this. Oh my gosh, it's turning out so cute. It looks, those eyes, the eyes, you can add that to just about anything. You can add that to just about any little creature. And see how they're that big doughy eye like that? They call them doe eyes because fawns. Will I color? I can color it. What if I was going to color it, what color should I make it? There's a little bit more that I want to add right now, like through the belly here. This is what I want to do, is add more seams. I'm going to put more seams on here. What colors should I color on it? I don't want to do too many colors. I haven't been coloring my... you know where I'm going to go? I'm going to look over here on... Oh, you know what colors I'm going to do? I am going to use purple and pink and green. Purple, pink, green, and yellow, kind of like the creepy characters up there. Sort of purple, pink, green, and yellow. So it seems to be kind of themed colors. And so I can get out my color pencils and add some color to it and see what we get. Because I think that'll be kind of fun. Okay, so we've got a little seam there with that direction. And... orange or purple or red or white. Well, if I'm going to do white, I could just leave it white like it is right now. It's already white. We already have the little creature being white. So now I'm going to take the seam. I'm going to do a seam this direction and then up here like this. And we're going to add some little seams in here. It looks like little zippers is what it looks like, but it's just little, what did I call it? Oh gosh, now I don't remember what it's called. Something stitching. It's a specialty kind of stitch. I don't remember what it's called right now. My sewing brain is not working right now. And so, okay, so we've got a couple of little ghosts. Actually, it looks like he's got a little ghost. Let's add tiny little ghost right here. We're going to add tiny little ghost right in here. Tiny ghost right in here. Tiny, tiny ghost. Right there by its ear. Now, there is a castle in the background, but I'm not going to be able to fit the castle in. Okay, so we've got, let's see here. Okay, let me get my pencils. I think that's good. I think that looks pretty good there like that. I could add a little bit. If I'm going to do my pencils, I shouldn't add any more lead in because the lead actually, the lead. Now, if you want a dingy look, and when I say dingy, I just simply mean kind of a drab look. Lead is great for mixing in with the other colors. Okay, let me look here. Do I have... No, I don't have Discord. I am currently... I don't know why I can't get Discord. I just can't. I tried to sign up for Discord, and it would not let me in any further at all. And right now I think I'm kind of fine with that because um, I've complained a lot about Discord because of the fact that I was getting scammers who would go on there and they would, well, what they were doing is stealing pictures of the United States military and American men, and then they'd turn out to be someone from Somalia or India, and they were scamming for money, and I also believe they were scamming for women too. They were trying to hook up with women. And, in the past, on Snap and Discord wasn't as bad, but Snap, there was a guy who was showing his genitals all the time. So I eventually deleted Snap because I didn't like that. I didn't want to see his genitals. And so it seemed like they think it's funny. They think women just want to see their genitals, and it's like, oh, there, I made you laugh. And so they use the thing of, because they made you laugh, they think that they're doing some kind of a service by exposing their genitals, and I didn't want to see that. So, um, and it's like, there's no recourse on the internet. When I think about this, the thing I think about is that it's like reset the app, do whatever it tells you. What kind of idea do you have? So the thing I think about is, like, when we're doing this, I like to have the comments on myself, but I just don't want to be met with all the nasty. And the same thing, like, I like having my email put in my YouTube account, but I just don't want to be approached with a bunch of foreigners who are telling me to take off my shirt or something like that, and I don't want to do that. And I've been met with that over the decades, even on YouTube. And so the thing I think about is, like, you don't go in the grocery store and tell the cashier to take her shirt off, do you? Do you go in the do people go in the grocery store and tell the cashier to take their shirt off and show them their tatas and things like that? I know, exactly. And so it's like we've been met with that forever. I mean, men telling women to do this stuff, and it's just kind of gotten worse on YouTube. And it's like they could be telling kids to do that stuff. Kids will do it. Kids will do it. Especially, this is the problem with the thing with kids, is that when when you have someone, you can have a man who is BSing a child. This is the problem. And I've heard this mentioned on television, that you have a guy. Okay, so say you have a guy who got a child to do something inappropriate on the internet, and then he still continues to talk to that kid. Well, then they hold it over their head and say, well, I know where your parents are at. I'm going to tell them if you don't do this for me again. Well, who wants, then you're adding additional stress to a child, because I was just thinking about, how crappy I felt when I was a kid because I couldn't talk to just mute then block. Well, but do kids know how to? Okay, yeah, but then you have to block at every. Well, that's, yeah, you're right. Mute and block, but I'm finding a lot of them come back though. That's the thing that makes no sense to me, is that they come back somehow, and that's what I'm seeing on YouTube right now, is that either I've even had YouTube channels that I was subscribed to the YouTube channel, and overnight the YouTube channel had a different YouTube channel in it, and I don't know how they did that. So there's something that someone has something in their YouTube channel, the ability to keep the same, and it's not that they're changing their name. They didn't do that. They didn't change their name because they have a whole bunch of videos now on their channel. So the only thing I can think is that their channel was private, or they got a bunch of people to subscribe to them. They made all their videos private to look like something else. Oh, that's got to be what they're doing. They made their YouTube channel private, for example, maybe to look like a crafting channel or something like that. And then they make everything. So they get a bunch of people to subscribe from certain other areas, and then they just change the name or something, and then make the other videos public. That's the only thing I can think that they're doing. Yes, absolutely, they collabed. Yeah, because they're doing that. They're doing that out of foreign countries is what they're doing. And so gaming is big outside of the United States too. And yes, they are collaborators because they said the gaming networks, the gaming networks are actually worse than Hollywood. At least there's people in Hollywood who have a conscience, you know, and even though they're very well paid and a lot of people hate them, I'm thinking, why aren't people hating on the gaming networks as much as they hate on Hollywood? Because the gaming networks are worse. And on the internet, they're utilizing foreigners, and now I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying that. Someone's gonna say, "Oh, you're racist for saying that they collaborated with someone in a foreign country," and it's like, well, no, I'm not gonna. Why should I be called racist for telling people that they're collaborating with foreigners outside the United States? Yes, Miles. Yes, I know what you're. Yes. And so then they're the ones who want to use Discord, and they want to use Patreon and OnlyFans for the little thing that you showed there, which could be two different things, and I think you know where I'm going with that. And so then when they can gravitate, get someone, well, it creates this plausible deniability too. It creates, I know, I've never had a OnlyFans, and I'm not going to. I've had men actually tell me to sign up for OnlyFans. My ex-husband did. He told me, well, he's like, if you gotta do what you gotta do to make money. And so it was like he was actually literally approving and saying, well, a woman who's getting paid to have sex with another man, at least she's getting paid. And it's like, he was not like that. He didn't say those kind of things when I first met him. And now all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's telling me that I should be hiring men to get by just so he can get divorced, so he can be comfortable and get divorced. Because now all of a sudden that he got what he needed, the house paid for, his retirement. Now all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm a nuisance and I'm the problem for him. I don't think so. I mean, he has a big problem, with his sentiment and his logic and his thinking. He's the one with the problem. So I have a lot to say. It's like, I'm an adult. I'm willing to talk about the horrific side of the internet, the horrific side of marriage, the horrific side of mixed marriages, related to cultures and differences and things like that. And in the United States, we do have different, even church. I will say church can be considered a different culture when it comes to marriages. And it is. And even church people will tell you that. Everybody who has been involved with church will tell you that church is like living on a different planet at times. People who have gotten out and feel better after they get out. Absolutely. It's just like living on a different planet. And for people to be telling us that we should be going to church, and the thing that I see is it's almost like a shaming. And that's what I keep hearing about people from the past. When I watched I've been watching Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple came up, and they lived in Switzerland, and I mean, I always felt bad for Shirley Temple's grandpa when they stole the rich people stole Shirley from her grandpa and took her kind of they were treated Clara was treating her like she was a pet almost like oh I have someone to play with, even though Shirley didn't want to be with Clara and her family and her dad. She loved her grandpa and she wanted to be with her grandpa, and people were judging her grandpa very critically and harshly, saying he couldn't take care of her even though he was her only next of kin. She wanted to be with her grandpa, and he wasn't doing anything to that little girl, so they were pretty much saying that because he was a man, he couldn't raise a child. That's kind of what I gathered from the movie was, and I love, oh my gosh, I love the old Shirley Temple movies. Um, no, I've never signed up for OnlyFans. That's not something it's like I'm inclined. My thinking is like, okay, if you're gonna tell me to sign up for OnlyFans, I'm gonna call the police, and so I will. Actually, you know what's worked for me? I have to share this with you guys. So these ones on Discord, who pretend to be, they steal pictures, and the soldiers call it stolen valor. Now, when they contact me, I'll let them talk a little bit. Some of them have showed their face, and they're like, "There, now you show your face." And when they show me their face, and they're from Somalia, I'll say, "Okay, well," and I've done this with the phone callers too, the scammers, and I've said, "Okay, I'm going to turn you over to the FBI now." And they hang up. They don't like it. When I just sometimes I get so tired of them. I am just direct, and I'll say, "Well, I'm going to notify the FBI about you." They don't like that at all when I say that I'm getting the FBI involved. And I actually have reported them to the FBI. I've used the FBI website. I've used the Crime Stoppers. I've used the FBI website and contacted them because I don't like them. And it has nothing to, and they're the first ones then will pull out the thing about, what they're doing is sitting here listening to us have these conversations. And so then they're the first ones, the foreign people are the first ones then who want to call those of us in America and say that we're racist for not wanting to show our private parts on, basically that's what it amounts to now, is they're using intimidation and bullying to try to get adults to show their private parts on video using Discord and OnlyFans and Patreon. And then they'll use the thing of, oh, well, you're racist. And so, I mean, it's like, do you guys really think we're that stupid? I mean, really? You think we're that stupid? I mean, that's not a way to build a YouTube channel either, and a lot of them from the foreign countries also have said that leaving comments on videos and subscribing to channels is their job. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not a job. It's not a job to be a subscriber on a YouTube channel. That is not a job. It's nowhere close to a job. I think someone should take all these foreigners inside of the United States that are here right now, if there's some residual ones left over, take them around to the different strip malls and tell them to go find a place to apply for a job, being a subscriber and leaving comments on YouTube videos. Please, someone do that. Yes, being a subscriber, the foreigners have a belief that being a subscriber is a job, and leaving comments is a job, and sharing links is a job. Someone please take these nincompoops that you have inside of the United States right now who have this belief, take them around to the job services places. Have them go inside to the Department of Labor and tell them, so they can tell someone in the United States that They came to the United States because they're applying for a job to be a subscriber on a YouTube channel. They truly have this belief. So, and that's because someone hired, when they do things like Fiverr, then they just start to think that that's a real job, but it's not. It's not a real job, but that's the belief that they have. So I didn't set that culture. Disney did. Disney is I'm going to say, is mostly to blame, and so is the gaming community, because at the beginning of YouTube, when they started the multi-channel networks, then they wrapped in as many foreigners as they could, because there was a lot of foreign people the internet was rolling out there too. I mean, it looks to me like the internet is pretty much rolled out as far as it can. So I don't know how they're going to progress with the internet any further, because of the fact it's like, well, now you've got it worldwide, and then you've got all these scams going on, and that doesn't look well for any country around the world. It doesn't look good for any country around the world. You've ruined the internet, and you've ruined it for people who you potentially may have been investors. You've ruined it now. And you've ruined it for those of us who had a gig economy jobs, through advertising. We keep hearing from Hollywood that there's all this money wrapped up in advertising, and this, Disney has said the same thing. The gaming companies have said the same thing. There's millions and billions of dollars in there. You should be able to make this work. And it's like, well, no, if you're not going to pay us, what they do is they pay people from the beginning. They pay them well. That's what we've been told. I was told this recently. So they pay him well. Oh, that's the story that I got distracted from telling. Now, someone from Uber said this. They said with Uber, they paid them really well at the beginning, and then the pay starts going down. So the initial investors have sold out. The initial investors have gotten their money. Now they've abandoned the Uber platform. I'm wondering if that's happened with YouTube too. I wonder with YouTube and Google, did the initial investors already bail out? Because I know with the YouTube partner program, it seemed like, well, they have to keep getting people to invest in the platform or keep getting advertising money. The advertisers are the ones who are supposed to be advertising on the platform. But then you have advertisers who don't want to advertise on just any old thing either. Some of them are topical and they just want to do the one topic only. And it's like, well, okay, if you do one topic only, such as crafting, then you've got all these different YouTube channels that are teaching the same craft, the same niche. That doesn't leave very, very much money to go around. It's not sustainable, because if you have, let's say you have 500 people on the internet who are teaching the same thing, such as knitting or crochet or something like that, it's going to make it really hard. Oh, you've got to go? Okay, you've got to go. I'm sorry, didn't mean to bore you. But we did add a little bit of color here. That looks pretty good like that. That'll be kind of fun to... Thank you for stopping by, Miles. Thank you. Okay. So I'm just looking here to add a little bit more color here. Well, I was trying to look at the creature here. We've got a little bit of pink and orange in here too. We do have a pink orange mix. Let's see if we can't get a pink orange mix in here. Pink orange. Let's do a little bit of orange up here. Oh, that works. Oh, that does work. We'll add a little bit of, a little bit of shading in here for a little bit of pink orange mix here. Okay, so maybe I should, yeah, let's do, okay. I want to add a little color to the flowers here. Okay. Okay, I was trying to get a little bit of red in here. A little bit of red. Red, where are you? Okay, red color, where did you go? Is that, yeah, that's the red color. This'll work. Let's try and get a little bit of, okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of, there. So we've got a little flower right there. Okay. So we've got the little flower right there. And I barely made it for the morning art drawing, but I made it. I think we're in noon now, aren't we? Afternoon. Well, we could add a little bit more colors over here, like this. Okay, so okay, so let's mix this one with a little bit of orange in here. Combination of a little bit pink and orange in this flower. Okay, so I was gonna do, let's see here, a little bit of, not that color. I wanted a drab color, sort of a drabbish color of some sort. Oh, that looks quite a bit better. Okay, so I was gonna try to add a little bit of, well, even though it's a stick arm, I'm still making it green. It kind of looks like a monster leaf arm here, like that. I'm wondering, do we need to shake the camera again? Did you guys like that? I don't know if anybody's here anymore or not. We shake the camera again. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we got colored pencils in there. Ooh. Let's move it over here. Ooh. Make our own sound effects. Okay. Okay, so I created a little highlight there of my own. Oh goodness. I'm wondering now if I should add a little. Let's see if this will mess it up. I hope not. I just wanted to add maybe a little bit of blue. Oh, maybe some navy. Let's see if I can find navy. Navy. Are you navy? No, you're green. I'm looking for navy. Where are you, navy blue? Dark navy blue. Okay, so I did find purple, the dark purple that I was looking for. Oh, here you are, navy blue. Okay, so I was going to add a little navy blue in here. Like this. Oh, that looks a little bit better. Oh. Okay, I like that. So I've got two combinations of colors going on in here. And that is the lead pencil and blue and white mixed in here. We could even do the same thing with a little bit of green too, if we wanted to add some greens in here to highlight the eyes. Oh, nice. Want to add a little bit of greens. Is this one darker? I don't know. I kind of do want to darken it up a little bit. Looks pretty good. That makes those eyes just, my goodness sakes, they pop out really, really good. I like that. Boy, it adds, those colors just add a whole lot. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more green elements in here to add more dimension and contrast. And let's see here. Maybe we should do a little bit of side color purple, like in here, like this. And just add some light purplish colors. We got a little patchwork. Yeah, patchwork. You know, where's Patch Barracks at? Patchwork kind of reminded me a little bit of Patch Barracks. Somewhere, I have no idea. I just remember people talking about Patch Barracks. I don't know why the patchwork design here reminded me of that, Patch Barracks. If anyone can help me out and tell me where Patch Barracks is at, I don't remember. I know I could look it up, but right now I'm busy doing something. I'm drawing. I know I can Google it, and a lot of people still tell me to this day, just Google it, just Google it. Okay. Okay, so let's add a little bit more around here and make the little face pop out. That's cute. Let's see, I'm thinking, what other, maybe, orange. I'm gonna, yeah, that'll work. Let's kind of mix this one in a little bit. We'll shade it a little bit there like that. Now I want to do the moon yellow, but I don't want it to be completely yellow. I need to add a little bit more color. Maybe let's see here. What color can I mix with it? Maybe a little purple or blue? I don't know. Let's see what I don't want it to be that yellow. That's too bright of a yellow. So I'm just going to modify the color a little bit like that. And let's see here. Maybe add in a little bit of, oh yeah, that works. You know how the moon has sort of a halo around it? That's too much blue though right there. So let's pull that back in. Oh, it turns it kind of green, but that works. We just got a green moon. But it's our world. We can make it whatever color we want to. Okay. Okay, let's see here. What did I do with my blue? Okay, I was going to see if I could. I don't want to completely cover up all these teeth though. There, I'm thinking that looks pretty good. I think I'm probably done. Well, before I go, though, what I want to do is maybe I want to emphasize these lines a little bit more. Like that. I want to make them pop out just a little bit more. Now remember, I have two more. I think I'm going to do both of them, but I want to make them in separate videos. And well, let's emphasize this. Yeah, let's just outline it. That's what I'm doing right now, is outlining. Okay, so we've got one more circular part to do right here, half circle. And that looks pretty good. Did we get these little guys? No, we need to emphasize you guys so you pop out just a little bit more than what you're popping out. That's cute. That is really cute. Oh my gosh, the colors just added to it. Sometimes I'm always afraid to add colors because I'm afraid that I'll ruin it. But these colors actually made it pop out, and then I just didn't completely color it either. So I'm thinking about, I kind of want to add, though, a little bit of, where did my... I just want to do like a little bit of a highlight around the edges like this, like a little oval. That's kind of all I want to do. Kind of like a blur. Well, on Photoshop we called it a Gaussian blur. Gaussian? G-A-U-S-S-I-O-N, I believe is what it was called. Something like that. A Gaussian blur. And that's kind of what I'm emphasizing here, is sort of an oval shaped Gaussian blur. It's kind of to depict the night sky too. Well, does it have to be? Yeah, the moon's out, so it is a night sky. Yeah, that's why I knew I had a rhyme and a reason why I was doing it like this. I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to add just a little bit more color blending. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. I don't want to overkill it. I don't want to underkill it either. Now, one thing in my design elements, I had a book that when I went to college, it was called Design Elements by Robin Williams, and it was a woman author, and she used the name Robin Williams for these design elements. And what they always talked about was leaving some white space. That's what we learned, leaving white space for things. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is leaving white space, because white space is very important. And so I'm just sort of mixing in and blending in these colors here like this. You know, we don't have to be very overly liberal related to our background designs. So, you know, or perfect either. Now over here, the only thing I'm not too fond of is I need to get some coloration in here. Okay, did I do it too dark? No, I don't think I did. Okay, so that's working. That works pretty good. And the purple, for some reason, kind of looks a little bit pinkish. I'm going to expand it out just a tiny bit. Tiny bit in some places. Okay, now I'm feeling like I want to add a tiny bit of green. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, because it looks sort of like a combination of a plant, kind of a background, sort of, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just going to add some little scribble. Oh, the moon's good. And that ties in perfect with the moon. So let's just scribble a tiny little bit here. These are fall colors that, actually, they're kind of cold colors that I remember. People use these colors a lot in the winter and fall time frames, and even spring. These are common colors that I see all the time. And they work well together too. These color combinations, the blue, pinkish purple, and green. And so that's kind of why I'm making kind of a sky that's bluish purple and green, because it's kind of a fun sky element to make the sky these colors. And oh, I like that. And we can add some little lines, kind of like that. I'm just adding them to make them kind of point towards the center. You know, not a whole lot of lines. I don't want it to be overkill. Let me add a couple of little lines up here with this. It's almost like a rainbow effect, a little tiny bit. Tiny bit of a rainbow. There, we've got it. All right, I think that's it. And so thanks for watching. We'll see you guys with the next one that I do.